Galnet News Digest, 4th of October 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, we listen to part of the Joy Senne ICE-cast and wonder what impact the Thargoid advocacy project will have on the immediate future of the galaxy. ICE-caster Joy Senne has broadcast a terrifying howl of pain allegedly recorded when the Proteus wave was activated in HIP 22460 and smuggled out, possibly by Thargoid activists. This howl is very different from the massive pulse of energy emitted from the system after the Thargoids had come back to life and taken the system over. Let's just hear that sound. That sounded like a mixture between a cry of victory and some sort of long-distance communication. This new recording, which is of uncertain provenance but is being widely circulated on social media platforms, may, according to Senne and her guest on the episode, Heimar Borichev, deputy editor of The Sovereign, indicate that the Proteus wave weapon incorporated a living Thargoid and that this is the sound of it crying out in despair and anguish. Borichev had come on the Joy Senne ICE-cast to promote the Thargoid Advocacy Project, an organic movement promoting peace between Thargoids and humans. He wants to get the movement out of the fringe media, like his own The Sovereign, and to get the choice of a negotiated peace with the Thargoids openly discussed in the mainstream media. In addition to the peace movement and the Thargoid scream, they also discuss the Stargoids, flares or signals, and whether when they eventually arrive at a human-inhabited system we should greet them with flowers and a welcoming committee. Here's an edited version of their conversation. If you want to hear the full discussion, it's at Joy Senne's ice beacon near Aiabiko, Planet 3.
Joy Senne. So you're into the TAP stuff, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I believe it is a very impressive movement. TAP, or the Thargoid Advocacy Project,
Right.
for people unfamiliar with the term.
I've been talking about it for a while now. My viewers are probably sick of it by now.
Well, let's hope not, because again, I have to say, it is really important, I think. The Thargoid Advocacy Project is, in my mind, the best chance we have for a diplomatic resolution to the war. More and more regular civilians are taking notice of the peace message and sharing it on ICE platforms.
Yeah.
Your media, Joy. My intended contribution is to bring that conversation to the mainstream news feeds and keep it there.
I think that, if we're being honest, the Xenopeace calls should be seen on Galnet. They should be on the Imperial Herald and on the Federal Times.
Yes.
Promoting peace and a diplomatic solution to a war which is now 5 years long shouldn't be restricted to independent journalists.
Have you heard the recording from HIP 22460?
I have. It's such a sad sound. It's so mournful.
We don't know what made it. It is definitely Thargoid, but it does not match the noises from the Thargoid ships we have encountered so far.
So, some of my crew are convinced that something alive was used to power the Proteus wave weapon that Salvation built. I wouldn't put it past him. He was such a scumbag.
You are not a fan of Salvation's work,
Are
then?
you kidding me? Here, let's play this sound for everyone. Turn your volume up. Listen to this. That sounds like something's alive and in pain. Whatever Salvation tried to do, it hurt the Thargoids.
And then they reacted violently.
Right.
That is what I've been arguing on the Sovereign Network. We have been the aggressor in this conflict,
Exactly.
and the Thargoids are responding in kind. There must be a concerted effort to break the cycle of war, or both species are doomed to many more years of suffering.
All three superpowers covered it up, though. Deliberately hiding this from us, this evidence that the Thargoids feel pain or even sadness, if that's what they did, and I'm not saying they definitely did, I'm just saying it doesn't look good, then we're being lied to. And I don't want to believe that they'd lied to us. It makes me feel icky or something.
Well, once again, the Thargoid Advocacy Project may change that. If our leaders try to convince the public that continued war is the only answer, they may be surprised by such strong calls for peace.
I hope so. Heimar, what do you think about the mysterious signals currently moving towards the core systems?
That is a good question. I find them fascinating. A mystery yet to be solved.
I know, right? I hope we can learn more about them soon.
Have you discussed them on your show before?
Let me tell you something. My crew has been tracking these things by the hour. We're so excited about what they could mean.
Well, your crew must have considered both the pros and cons of what these anomalies are. It would be very naive to expect a purely benevolent intent.
I get what you mean. Are you worried that they're dangerous?
Yes, I worry that we have invited danger to our space. Yes, I do. Our leaders have overseen a consistent level of antagonism towards anything non-human.
Do you think that they're Thargoid related?
Well, that is a popular theory, but currently we have no evidence to support it. All we know is that they are traveling towards our borders at a remarkable speed.
Yeah, the first one we found has a definite route. Like, it doesn't seem like it's a comet or anything. It's moving between systems.
Right, which indicates a level of intelligence or good programming, maybe.
Yeah.
But if we assume the former, and once again, we must not be naive in our thinking, if it is an intelligent source, then it means we must be very careful in how we greet it.
Yeah. If recent events are anything to go by, we'll probably try and form a battle fleet to go intercept it. I wish we'd try something else for once.
Yeah, which brings us back to the TAP idea.
Yeah.
We must petition our leaders on the local, stellar, and interstellar level.
Yeah.
Push every aspect of governance to explore diplomatic avenues with both the Thargoids and with these signals, if at all possible.
I completely agree. So you heard the man, people. Get the message out there. We need an alternative to war, and it's time our voices were heard. Mwah!
In the broadcast, Borichev and Senne fail to put forward any clear plan about how peace could be achieved without the ability to understand the motivations of the Thargoids or to communicate with them. This is something Aegis might be able to achieve were it to be reformed. Professor Albert Esro is holding a conference in Altair right now to try and get backing from the superpowers for a new version of the Xeno Research Organisation. Meanwhile, with the Far God's new True Chapter movement losing the battle against federal oppression in Papontia, they seem on track for the federal military to seize their new megaship, the Dedicant, a major setback for a pro-Thargoid movement. Perhaps the secular peace movement will also fail to get the level of support it's hoping for. Perhaps humanity will fall back on the old faithfuls of Gauss cannon and flak launchers to greet both the Thargoids and the Stargoids when they eventually arrive. And with today's appearance of D2 at the Aegis conference saying that she knows what that screech means and that it's too late to stop what's coming. Perhaps we'll need those Gauss cannon and flak launchers, no matter what the Thargoid Advocacy Project may think. And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News. We read the news so you don't have to.